Boys back.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back. Woo, I had to clear my throat. That's what they see. And they make fun of me when I clear my throat. Then I don't clear my throat.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Then, you know what I'm saying?
To your guns. See, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
See, get there. Get there.
The boys are back.
Boys are back in town.
We talk to the people, man.
Our question this week, man. You know, it's been a little buzz in college football right now.
A little bit.
It's a little story going on.
A little bit.
So I went back to some college sports. I said, let's see who had the biggest buzz. So I got three scenarios right here. You got Kentucky undefeated team. Basketball.
Right.
Oh, okay, 37-1.
Yeah. You got Jimmy Fredette. That buzz.
Okay. Player of the year.
Yeah. Or you got Coach Prime. Who got the biggest buzz? Who had the biggest buzz?
We gotta wait till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Kentucky made it to the national championship and lost the game.
Because if they go 500, even the buzz is gone. It won't be gone. It won't be as big.
And USC buzz was crazy. I can't believe you didn't put that USC buzz.
Bush
on
Yeah.
Reggie Bush and them.
They was
Shit.
arcade games.
That was
Bush,
buzz.
Liner, man, that's buzz.
Lindell, shout out to Lindell White.
Oof. It was some
I
buzz.
did
Tebow
college.
buzz. Come on, man. We would lose games. A lot of buzz.
I was trying to keep.
I will never, you will never see
I was trying to
anyone
be
play
biased.
as
Yeah.
hard
Biased out
as
of
I will play.
Point me to the lie. Point me to the lie. Cam
Fab
Newton.
Stay out of
Fab-
buzz when
Damn
James.
right.
Boy, stay
Wide
out of
to wide.
buzz. Yeah, with
Y'all trying to be biased. Here we
with
go.
the crab legs.
Yeah, wire to wire.
Yeah, see,
about
that's
to
what
we
it
ain't kill
is.
nobody.
It's your
Right.
ass.
We ain't kill nobody.
You hit
Huh?
this thing.
I want to keep it on this side. Where I won't
Yeah,
get the-
you guys ready to get it going?
Let's
get
do
it.
it.
Let's get it.
Yeah. No layup line, no warm-ups, no nothing. We just walking right into the stadium and get into the game. Let's do it. When the beat on, then it's on. Wearing our right jerseys on the road, cause how we feel where we roam is our home. Leaving these other podcasts null and void. The show can't miss something like Tom Shepard and corduroys. Full sport press, you know them boys. Jay run the point, lock for 3, and me, I crash the boards. Weezy told you that it's paid for. Full sport press.
Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am Jay Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Cameraman, how you doing, brother? Spoke.
Oh my God.
If you guys didn't hear, he said he's blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
You
Shout
heard
out
to the
though.
cameraman.
You definitely heard it.
Yeah,
Shout
probably
out
A lot
to
of
the camera.
microphones in here.
Yeah, we picked it up. Episode 484, guys. We're predicting the contenders or pretenders in college football after week 1.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
You better damn know it.
You better damn believe it.
Kick it off, Coach. Best of the week. Talk to the people.
Tomahawk chop is all
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna say. Big win. Big win. Big opening win. Big opening win.
Nah.
No. We ain't talking about
Brother,
them. We never do it. We never talking about it. It's college football season. It's college football season. Shout out to them, man. Big win.
Seminoles.
Got a way to go.
Got a way to go. Got a ways to go.
But you got to be 1-0.
But in prime time. Only game on TV. Sent the statement, cameraman. Of course.
I hope they get their ass tore up now.
Dang. I go ahead.
Yeah.
Weezy, talk to the people. Give me your best of the week.
My best of the week is Nashville's own Devin Arnold. Got his first win in Antioch.
Yeah.
Antioch head football coach Devin Arnold, man, got his first win Antioch can win a game in like 5 years.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Dev.
Shout out to Devin Arnold, man. They
Yeah,
won. They beat Kane Ridge last week.
They did
Good. Yeah. Kane Ridge ain't won a game.
Can't risk coming
Goodness.
to earth a little bit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Hey,
Yeah.
win's a win.
Yeah, win is a win. My best of the week is Harry Giles, man. Nets free agent, big man Harry Giles are in agreement for a 1-year deal.
That's what's
My
up.
guy hasn't played since 2021, so deserves every chance that he gets. Shout out to my guy HG. Godspeed, good luck. Hope everything goes well, stays healthy, because he deserves it, man. Because if you look at that draft class, not even the draft class, the high school class coming into Duke, Harry Giles number 1 player. Jason Tatum was the 3rd player in the country. So if you look at those two guys in the trajectory of Tatum compared to what HG has went through, man, it's tough, man. So you got to root for that. Got to root for it. Worst of the week, Coach. Talk to the people.
All right, worst of the week, guys. If you're wearing cologne, Wear it the right way, please.
What they doing, Coach?
I saw a guy on Twitter, man, said he has a cologne hat. This guy goes and takes his cologne,
Mm-hmm.
gets a cup of water,
Oh man.
sprays the cologne in the water,
Okay.
takes that water,
Yeah.
pours it in the iron, and starts to iron and steam his shirt.
Oh wow.
I said,
Oh,
what are you doing?
he was born in the pandemic.
What are you
He discovered
doing?
that during the pandemic.
Where is he from?
I don't know.
He's got it. I gotta guess. I gotta guess.
I'm not doing that.
I have a guess.
I'm not doing
as
that.
to where that brother's from. It was a brother.
It
was a brother.
It was
Yeah.
a brother for sure.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you don't.
Yeah.
People shouldn't smell your cologne 40
It's a
yards away,
Miyake.
dog.
You gonna
You
smell
live
my
my
cologne,
cologne,
Jack? Talk to me, Weezy. Talk to the people, man. Worst of the week.
Man, worst of the week for me, man, you know, it's pumpkin spice season, man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I seen that.
So-
I seen the dude wipes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pumpkin spice season. So I was on my pumpkin spice. Well, I hit your spot, Starbucks, and got me
Okay.
a good pumpkin spice muffin, which is really good.
Really good.
And then I got word that Waffle House has a pumpkin spice waffle.
Okay.
Let me make that piss by the way home. Give me a pumpkin spice waffle.
Yeah.
on top of the
Muffin?
Yeah, just on the way home. You know, I eat
That's
some pumpkin spice waffle.
That's a rub.
Double
right
up.
It was horrible, man.
It was
there.
trash.
It sounds
Horrible.
bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Shout out to
Waffle
Waffle.
House got a good waffle.
That's it though. So you got to stick.
I don't know if I don't know if I went to a bad spot or
You might have.
it-
All Waffle Houses aren't created equal, guys.
That's true.
That's true.
Was it clean in the waffle?
yeah, it was clean. That's no.
That's
I
the
mean,
mistake.
I always go to that spot. It's
That's
clean.
probably why.
That was the
That's probably why it
mistake.
was a
Should I
bad
give a
waffle.
second chance? Though?
That was the mistake.
Nah, your Waffle House gotta look like trash. your Waffle House gotta be ran through.
Yeah.
A little bit of dirt through
Yeah,
there.
it's gotta look
I
real
need
bad.
some teeth missing from
It gotta look like life is
Yeah.
lifing on your
Wow.
cook
It's
too.
too clean in there, too.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
I didn't go
yeah.
after
That's your
hours.
fault.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Okay, yeah.
Good cook wasn't on time. Right
Nah,
now.
They took my order
Good cook
nicely,
just getting
smiled.
high.
They were hollering at me, told me what you want.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
nah,
fine.
yeah,
That
yeah.
explains it all.
Yeah, that good cook is high all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
Good and high.
good and high.
Yeah.
Yeah. My worst of the week, man. We made a mistake last week. Well, Weezy made a mistake. Was speaking on the Titans people that they kept. Hillsborough alum, one of our guys, one of our very own, Matt Jackson, former Hillsborough High School standout, made the 53-man roster
Shout out to him.
from the Tennessee Titans. Man, 6 foot. 209-pound Jackson making the switch from outside linebacker to safety, when he played at Eastern Kentucky. So shout out to Matt Jackson, man.
How I make that mistake?
Because you shouted out everybody else. It was D2 guys.
Yeah,
It
he
was-
wasn't. He wasn't a D2 or D3 guy.
No,
I
but
would
what?
shout out the
But
D2.
this guy went to our alum, great
I don't know
Hillsborough
that
High
dude.
School.
Shout out to him, but I don't know him.
But you still got to rep the set. You got to rep the
I was
set,
repping because it's hard to get out. It's hard to come out of D2 or D3.
bro. He played at EKU.
I don't know him, but I mean, shout out to
You don't know those dudes that play. He played.
Yeah, but they come out of
That's
D2 or
FCS.
D3.
Caravan, break it back. This the clip.
Yeah, I don't know him. Shout out to him though, but I don't know him.
So what
Nah, you can't do that.
So what you're saying,
Yeah,
Weezy,
yeah,
is
yeah.
you didn't make the mistake. You just left him out.
No, he
What-
didn't
what
even
the
know. He
mistake?
didn't
No.
have a clue. He didn't have a
Wasn't a
clue.
mistake.
I
though.
wasn't trying to look for him. I knew who I was looking for.
You saying you wasn't wrong,
Wasn't wrong at all.
but
Yeah.
you just didn't give him the.
If a guy from Hillsborough makes the team, we should
blame it on
we
Mike.
should roll. We should roll with it.
That's true.
We should stand on it. Hey, that's a Hillsborough alum. Shout out to
just
Matt
say that,
Jackson.
but don't say that's
It's
my fault,
guy.
though.
It's your fault.
Yeah, how you gonna put this crime
And
on
it should have
me?
been. It should have been more importantly. A Hillsborough alum made the team. 53. He didn't make P squad. He made 53.
Shout out to him. But he didn't come from no fair state.
He came from EKU, bro.
That ain't fair state. It's D1.
He's just saying because you.
Tell this boy where EKU at, man.
It's Eastern Kentucky.
It's FCS, dude.
It ain't fair state.
Man, come on, Joe. You up?
My worst of the week.
I ain't made no mistake. Shit, tighten up though.
I know.
My worst of the week is the chaos that's going on in AEW right now. We covered it on 808s and chair shots. So if you want to check that out, in nauseum, people getting fired, people losing jobs, people losing title shots. It's a lot going on. Tony Khan, get your affairs in order, my brother. You're losing your company live on TV. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. And with that being said, please make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube. I'm sorry, I said Stitcher. Stitcher is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace to
Hell of a
Stitcher.
run.
He
Stitcher.
had a great run. It's out of there. Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and Amazon Music. The Catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. Just simply search Full Sport Press Podcast. J-Ho.
Yes, Sirski.
And Weezy. You guys have a yellow box of Cheerios recipient for our listeners.
We do. This week's award recipient is Antonio Brown.
Oh, boy.
AB. Is it AB, right?
It is, AB. Yeah, life is unraveling right before our eyes with our guy Antonio Brown, from arrest to lawsuits to recently being accused of threatening his arena football team with a gun. Shout out to Weezy. Despite this most recent allegation, Brown seems to be living his best life. For instance, AB had a girl lick his diamond ring with a split tongue on Instagram and Twitter.
What?
Yeah. The most interesting part of the interaction was AB's caption. He said, and I quote, "She know I got that CTE. That's why she's licking me."
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that was his caption. Yeah. There's a pattern of behavior typically attributed to a brain disease. Either way, it seems like
And that doc in the house.
yeah. We got a house in the house tonight.
Stand up.
Either way, it seems like AB is embracing his CTE.
It's not good.
That's not good. That's not good.
Listen, I mean,
That's
I'm
the
cool with
definition
you.
of CTE.
Yeah. I'm cool with you embracing and know what you got, but go get some help.
Points were
Take the
made.
next step. Go
Points
get
were
some
made.
help now.
Points were made.
That's why he has
Yeah.
CTE. He's just showing you that he really has CTE.
Yeah, we got to clear out the board. I look at the 2022, put it on the board, got to make that 23. We got to clear out these boards. Push-ups are being done at halftime. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get these push-ups done today. Today, the push-ups, Jeff, I'm going to give you about 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Get that shoulder back rocking. But we finna get these push-ups
That
done
shoulder
today.
good, man.
Man,
That shoulder been good.
No.
I'll give that shoulder been in rehab about 2 years. That shoulder good.
All I'm telling you, Jeff, is see how I had your back right there. Continue to do the same for me, dog.
No,
Hold
have
up.
my back, Jeff.
No.
I always had your back, Weezy.
Yeah,
you
he
just-
do. He always had your back.
you
You
just
see
let
the
him-
nigga that you always have his back.
You just let him
And you
clown
see-
me on
you see what
somebody,
I'm saying?
maybe a mistake on somebody I don't even
No,
know.
you kind of got to rep. You went to Hillsborough, for goodness sake. You got to rep.
I ain't got no
Hillsborough.
problem with that dude, but he ain't go to Fair
Represent,
State.
man.
If somebody from Glencliff made it, God forbid, somebody from Glencliff
That's all
make it
I'm
to the
saying.
foot,
That's
make
all
it
I'm
anywhere
saying.
professional
Represent.
sport right now.
I didn't know though.
Anyway, you guys ready to get started the first half?
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Well, it don't matter. It don't matter.
We
not
took
taking
nobody.
that.
We took so many
Nobody
AB
said
boy.
FedEx.
FedEx.
Draw.
We took so many AB boys.
AB might be in Hall of Fame.
He might.
Yeah,
Might
Yeah.
change it to the AB.
Yeah, Weezy, you lost your job. Are you guys ready to get started the first half?
How about y'all, boy? What?
Let's get it, man. Jesus.
Got merch on.
For sure.
FullSportPressPodcast.com. Get your merch, get your hats, get your hoodies, get your t-shirts, get your long sleeve tees. We got you covered, man. We got you covered. More stuff on the way. Always tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend that we are out.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week. Like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am J-Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What he do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Big Jeff, where can they find you on social media?
I'm Jay Easley.
I don't have CT.
Oh, wow.
I don't have CT.
Oh, the song. See, why'd you shoot at him? He the one said you had CT. No, you looked at me and said I don't have CT.
I was there.
I didn't say
Jeff.
that. You looked at me. You're not cockeyed. You looked at me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
Coach Locke, where can they find you? Now he threw me out with the CTE.
Oh, it's Locke _the_ great. That's THA. Get at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay, where can they find you on social media?
Woo, it's J-Ho, man, on Instagram and Twitter. Keep the conversations limited about my Florida Gators. But if you're going to talk, speak nice. Juwan Taylor, we broke the mold at left tackle right there. Right tackle. Yeah. Oh, you're a Florida Gator. Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Florida? Because they got the ass whooped.
Yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson. No. Florida Gator. You know what I'm saying? Alex Anzalone out there.
Yeah, I got
Handshake was.
What about Graham?
Yeah, boy.
What about your quarterback?
I don't give a damn about that.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Yeah. What about you?
And
Reed?
I'm at How Weezy on Twitter and FSP_Weezy on IG. Holla at me.
All right. It is week 1 of the FSP Fantasy Football League. Let's break it down, Coach.
Real quick. You don't miss Spence a little bit?
Hell
I do.
no.
I miss that shit every year.
Ask me.
Listen.
I don't miss that shit either.
I don't
Ask
miss
me.
that shit not one bit.
No, I don't. I promise. I might miss the draft, but as far as
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Draft is fun.
As
Y'all
far as
got to bring
draft.
y'all ass into the draft next year. I'm
Like-
gonna say it every week. Everybody paid Jeff. Now we're gonna talk about that. Go ahead, Jeff.
So week 1, here's our first matchup here. We got Show Me Them TDs. Shout out to Parham. I know he's listening.
Yeah, you listen.
Versus the Righteous Hemstones. One time for Derek. All right. Parham, shout out to him. He's projected to win by 3. After a nice first night there.
Close one.
Shout out to Twin, A Royale with the cheese versus my favorite name, Now Watch God. Now Watch God projected to win that one in a blowout. Shout out to Twin. Keep fighting, big dog. All right. Dak Toast Intolerant, one time for PO, has not set his lineup yet. Shout out to him.
Here we go.
He waited until the end.
He is. Versus Air Jordan Love, one time for returning champion AB. Technically, AB is projected to win that one, but PO hasn't set his lineup yet. AB still is probably going to win that one because the draft. PO had a bad draft. And NFL Young Boys, one time for Chaz versus Saquon and them, one time for Coach Williams. Thanks for pulling up again, Coach Williams. Chaz projected to win that one by double digits. And myself, excuse me, here we go. Myself, Follow the Buzzards, projected to win one time for Shane. It's going to be a close one, but they have me winning by 9. And don't forget Return of the Mac, one time for Reagan. And Dylan Panthers and Cam. Reagan's projected to win that one by 8. And that is FSP Fantasy Football League Week 1.
Everybody paid up.
Yeah, everybody paid. Everybody paid.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Speaking of, as we all know, last week the 30-day time clock was about to expire on old Bud and Errol Spence's time to activate the rematch. But Errol Spence came through in the crunch right before that buzzer went off and said he wants to do the rematch. So we know he's going to face Bud Crawford, but what we don't know is what they're going to be fighting at and where the fight is going to be taking place at. So we know he won the first fight. They can go 147 and go 154. My question for you guys is, should Spence have exercised this rematch clause, and which weight would you rather see them fight at? Jeff, talk to me.
Hey, man, look, I get it. Spence drains himself, to be at 147. To be at 147. And that's totally understandable. He did not look like himself coming to the ring, in the ring, or in his thereafter. But sometimes you have to know a matchup is just a bad matchup for you. 147, 154, 160, 164, whatever. This is a bad matchup for him right now. I do think this one will be a little bit closer if it's 154 or hopefully 160. But that doesn't mean the outcome will be any different. Terrence Crawford by multiple rounds.
Now, the thing is, Crawford does get to pick what they fight at because he won the first fight.
And to speak to that, Coach Terrence Crawford has himself said he has a difficult time making 147. So that's why I'm saying the outcome does not look like it's going to change.
Exactly. Weezy, what you think? Talk to me.
Spence already got dog walk once. He already got dog walk. Go fight somebody else, bro. I mean, unless the bag is that good, you need to, if the bag is that good, get your bread. I ain't gonna stop nobody from getting that bread, but I don't want to see you get molly whopped again like that. Not on my dime, I don't.
Oh, no, we ain't ordering this one.
Nah. Yeah, we ain't doing that. No more. Nah.
Get the hell with that.
Yeah. That bill come in too late, man. You get molly whopped like that. and that bill come. Yeah, you've been on and forgot about it, and then you get that bill a month later.
The streamer side, you got paid right then and there. Yeah. That came out as soon as you hit purchase.
Man, we gonna find a link on this one. We gonna find a good link.
Yeah, definitely.
I ain't lying.
Guys, if he's able to comfortably make 147, like Jeff said, I think it'd be wise to choose that weight just on the strength. The fact that he's already knowing that Spence is going to have a hard time at 147. So you got to take all advantage of anything that you got. So I just worry about the reason that Spence got rid of his trainer was because he hired a nutritionist, said he was training for the first fight, his first time ever having a nutritionist. It was one of those things that was like, they shouldn't have did that. And then Bud Crawford's trainer came out and said, shit, if the weight problem was the problem as far as like him being weight drained, that's on the trainer, not the actual fighter. So I don't know. That's probably why he got rid of him. I don't know, but Again, it is a link fight now. I don't think it's a pay fight. It's definitely a link fight. Yeah, that's tough though, man. It's gonna be a good fight either way though.
Yeah, Spence doesn't have another option to make that type of money that he's going to make.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way that match, the original match went down, the buzz around this was not going to be anywhere near.
He still got to make so many changes to get vindicated for this one, dog.
He got to make the 12 rounds.
Yeah.
That should be his goal. Make it through all 12.
And that's the thing. I'm gonna look at it from the other side of it. If you know this is the highly anticipated fight, we know all fighters think they're the best fighter.
Yeah.
So in his eyes, he's saying this, I have to take this fight because I have to redeem myself. Even if I lose, but I put on a much better showing where it's a split decision, then I get some of my respect back. But if I leave it at that, everybody's going to remember me getting drugged and killed.
Yeah.
So he's, in his mind, if you get beat up like that, you want to avenge your loss.
Jeff, real quick, have you ever seen anybody get rid of their trainer after you haven't been knocked down once in a fight, and then you get rid of your trainer the first time you get your ass whooped like that?
You hear of rumblings and stuff like that, but not like this, because that was. You hear people change trainers, like Ryan Garcia changed the trainer.
Yeah. He actually has James now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you hear stuff like that happening, but this ain't on the trainer, man.
Yeah.
This is a matchup.
It's a bad matchup. Yep. All right, before we get started with halftime, let's talk some college football. Caleb Williams is a franchise quarterback, Weezy. Tanking has already started for his services, but his father, Carl, told GQ that a concern over his son's going to a dysfunctional organization is great enough that Caleb would consider returning to USC for his senior year and hoping for a better fit in the 2025 draft. Now, Caleb is already making $3.5 million in NIL deals as a junior in college. Weezy, fair or foul for Caleb thinking of his long-term future?
Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair on all levels. I mean, these rookie quarterbacks are coming in. Joe Burrow came in. He got hurt his first year. He just got paid the highest. He just got paid the highest money in NFL history. Jeff's boy, Josh Allen just got paid.
Yeah, Justin Herbert just got paid.
Yeah. These NFL franchises are playing you as a rookie and paying you after your third or fourth year. Yeah. You don't have time to come in and get a tear ACL and then bounce back. Everybody don't bounce back the same. Yeah. And at USC, who's on their staff?
Yeah.
Who's on their staff?
Lincoln Riley, and they.
Oh,
my boy, the quarterback from
T. Martin.
Dude from Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is on their staff.
The dude that
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury is on their staff as an assistant. Something. Well, you know how they do.
He's quarterback coach.
Yeah. And he probably told him, "Man, that's a bad organization. You don't want to go there right now." He might be a little salty for him.
Or Arizona.
Arizona is a bad organization, and if I don't want to go to bad, they're already tanking.
Yeah,
they're already tanking. I think it's a great idea. You ought to get paid for $3 million a year. You stay there one more year until, or just don't do like Eli Manning and say you don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, this is the positives of NILs. This is the positives of player empowerment in college,
and a good father too,
and a great father around.
Talk about that. Yeah,
I was getting. You're absolutely right.
You got to get to that because it ain't a lot of good fathers out here. People see a check and they just want to get a check, but
not thinking the long term, like JJ Ho was saying, thinking of long term and understanding. Now I'll say this though, I don't know if Arizona is going to be as bad as people think. to say, I know they're doing it on purpose. You don't cut Colt McCoy, bring in Josh Dobbs, and all those things. But
Kyler Murray not gonna play a game.
I know that, but don't. Yeah, that's the goal, right? Is to get Caleb and then get it from up under that contract. But we all know every year in the NFL something goes wrong. Right, yeah. The Broncos win 3 or 4 games last year. Like that wasn't thought of. So something's going to go wrong, and you're going to look at this situation and say, "Oh, that's the number one team. That's the number one pick." So if I was him, I understand putting it out there, putting the feelers out there, and putting Arizona on notice. Like, hey, we don't want to come there. I really appreciate that, but I don't know if Arizona's where he's going though.
Coach,
I think they spoke too soon to me. Keep that in the house. Dad does a good job speaking up for his son and trying to make sure he's in the best position and tell him that if it goes like it does, that we don't want to pay organizations because they have bad organizations and whatnot. But at the end of the day, the NFL is set up to where the worst team is going to get the pick. Yeah. So you're going to go to a bad team regardless, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the the Chiefs, whoever it is. We know it's not going to be the Chiefs, but that's the way the NFL is set up. Unless somebody makes a crazy trade and they trade their number one pick. That's the only way it doesn't happen. But I don't know any teams that's be willing to trade their number one overall pick, especially when it's a guy like Caleb Williams that you know will be your franchise quarterback. So they should have just kept this in the house and nobody would ever known. But he's going to wind up on a bad team regardless. That's the negative of being the best quarterback or one of the best players in college football. You're going to go to a terrible team.
Yeah, you guys like hit every point. But the thing is, he doesn't want to go to the Cardinals, clearly. He would love to go to the Rams. The Rams are going to stink. The Buccaneers are going to stink. It's going to be a lot of very terrible teams this year. Houston's going to stink again. Tennessee's going to stink. Damn. You better hope Tennessee's in their top five. That'd be a good organization for him to go to, really. Seriously.
But they can't. No, Tennessee can't do a quarterback 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they can't because they ain't never spent the first round pick on the quarterback yet.
Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. This is the same thing that Eli did with his father. And in a situation, the NFL draft system, like Coach mentioned, is completely backwards. You go to the worst possible situation. The worst possible team, the worst organization in the NFL usually gets the first pick. So it's the gift and the curse of being the number one pick. You're going to a terrible organization. That's how professional sports work. In this case, the job pays well. You deal with it. You bring that team back to prominence, just being the player that you are. I like when families use the power that they have, but use the power until it uses you, and I think this is good for the Williams family, and I think he'll stay one more year like Matt Leinart did. But the thing is with that, it's going to be more quarterbacks in that draft. Now, and you're going to get, a low point where teams get bad. We saw Matt Leinart. They picked apart his entire shit. He didn't go to 11 then. He would have went the number one pick if he would have came out after his junior year. So it's a gift and a curse of doing that too. But I don't think they'll pick apart Caleb Williams' game because they're talking about the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think
everybody's the next
sold
Patrick Mahomes.
They sold on him.
Yeah. He got his shit written in stone. Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's not about being a bad team. They just think Arizona's a bad organization.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's a bad organization, and it kind of is revealing itself. You don't go out after Josh Dobbs went through the whole training camp with Cleveland, learn that whole playbook. And 2 weeks before the game,
you trade for him.
Yeah,
and
drop Colt McCoy, who's been in your
start him.
Yeah, Cleveland got a good backup. DTR, who was on our Heisman list last year, he is a really good quarterback. I think he'll play NFL football in the foreseeable future. Not next year, but he's
somebody's
going. DTR.
And you drop Colt McCoy, who's been in your system for the last 3 or 4 years.
You don't want to win. You don't want to.
That screams. That move screams.
That's the organization.
Tampa's about to trade Mike Evans. Listen, teams are gonna stink at a historic level this year.
And they got
Kansas
all the
City
picks.
needs to be on line 1, 2, and 3.
Well, this is the thing with Mike Evans, though. We'll talk about that. You guys ready to get started with halftime?
Let's do it. Make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Amazon Music. Hey, if you got Amazon Prime,
hell yes, there too.
Make sure you do all that, all right? And when these ads start showing, ads are free if you got Amazon Prime or Amazon Music. Make sure you pick that out. All right, to get on the full archive of past episodes of FSP, just simply search for Sport Press Podcast.
Halftime, we are back, but this time it is FSP's Heisman list. Each week during this college football season, FSP will take a look at the 2024 Heisman Trophy race and break down each contender. We will kick things off with the number 4 spot. We have Jordan Travis, the FSU Seminoles. It's plus 1,000. Mm-hmm. Yep, aside from one bad interception. It's brilliant in the 45-24 victory against LSU. 380 total yards, 5 touchdowns, and a signature performance of week 1, given the opponent. Up next, number 4 seed Florida State has a home game versus Southern Miss. FSU is favored by 31 points. Jeez. Right. Moving on to number 3, we have Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He's plus 3,500. Sanders was brilliant in his debut. It's 510 yards. It was the most yards by any quarterback in week 1 with 4 TDs and 0 interceptions. Up next, the number 22 Colorado Buffaloes are at home against Nebraska. Colorado is favored by 3 points. Coming in at number 2, we have Washington quarterback Michael Penix. He's plus 850. He led Washington to a 56-19 blowout against Boise State. Remember the legendary showdown between Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson? Mm-hmm. The Williams-Penix matchup will be on November the 4th, and it's going to be just like that. Number 8 seed this year. I said number 8 seed this year. Washington has a home game versus Tulsa this week. Washington is favored by 34 points. And coming in at number 1, we have USC quarterback Caleb Williams plus 450 right now. Still a leader in the clubhouse for every good reason in the world. There's been no drop off in his play, and USC is averaging 61 points per game. The battles with all the other Pac-12 quarterbacks, including Sanders and Penix, are on the horizon. Up next, the number 6 seed Trojans kick off the conference play at home versus Stanford. They are favored by 29 points, and that is your Heisman list for week 2. Well, from week 1 heading into week 2, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sir. It's a good list.
Like that list, Weezy?
I love that list.
Yeah.
You need no honorable mentions. I'm ecstatic with that list.
Weezy know that.
You know how you do.
I'm ecstatic.
Out of contention next week, though, we'll be back. Yeah. You guys ready to get started second half?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
This your boy FSP Weezy. Join us each and every Monday on all streaming platforms. And don't forget, everything is paid for.
The Revolution will be podcasted. Second half, college football contenders or pretenders after week 1. I am J-Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What do you do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
With week 1 of college football in the can, guys, some things are crystal clear. Some very good football teams out there who deserve plenty of praise. And there are teams out there that were extremely overrated and should be listed as frauds. We are here to break down the contenders and the pretenders of Power 5 football, 2 from each Power 5 conference. We will kick things off with the SEC with the Tennessee Vols. Weezy, are they contenders or pretenders?
I think Tennessee's are contenders, but their quarterback I think is a pretender. I mean,
Dang.
He didn't play good. He didn't play that great. I went back and watched the game. He still had no touch on his short passes. Still trying to break people's fingers when they catch the ball. You can tell they lost Jalen Hyde, but they got a good running game. Their defense is 10 times better.
That's good.
But yeah, I think they'll be all right in the SEC.
So they're still contenders?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Jeff.
Pretenders. They have a big matchup with Florida coming up. They have to go to Georgia. Alabama comes to them. I may have that backwards, but yeah, they're pretenders. They're gonna have at least 4 losses.
Yeah. Coach.
I think they are contenders, but like Jeff mentioned, the schedule is going to hinder them. But I think they're good. I just don't think they'll be as good as those teams, and it's going to hurt them at the end. But I do think they are contenders.
Jeff, give a quick explanation of contenders or pretenders.
So a contender, for us here, we like we said, we're taking 2 teams from each Power 5 conference to be labeled as a contender. You are at least a contender to win your conference's title, right? As a pretender, you had a great week 1, week 2, but as Coach Locke just said, your schedule will handle you as the season goes on.
Gotcha. Great definition there, Jeff. Speaking of that, I have Tennessee as pretenders. Like Weezy mentioned everything. You can't win games without a quarterback. And they don't have a quarterback at QB1. I know a lot of people are loving Joe Milton, but there's a reason why he's lost 2 starting jobs in the past 2 years. He cannot throw intermediate passes. He still doesn't have Jalen Hyde on the outside. And on top of that, he still is not Hendon Hooker. He's just not. That sucks. And you can only be compared to what was before you or after you. And the quarterback before him was a lot better at the quarterback position. Bru McCoy, whatever you want to call him. He's not Hyatt. If he doesn't have a changeup in his arsenal, like Weezy mentioned, because it's all fastballs, nothing else, this team will lose a lot of games. Definitely pretenders from the UT Vols, which sucks because they have a good team. I think Nico will play this year. Like that's how rough it's going to get for Joe Milton because it's just a fastball, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fastball. Moving right along to the next contender or pretender, it is the LSU Tigers. Weezy, talk to the people.
I think I put LSU. I could go from what I've seen. They're pretenders. They got hit in the mouth. LSU got hit in the mouth. Their defense that's supposed to be so good, they got hit. They got put 45 points on them.
Talk to them.
They got hit in the mouth. The quarterback supposed to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Didn't show me anything when the lights came on. When they was in the second half, he didn't show me anything. I still think he's taking 3 steps back, and once it's not there, he's taking off. I think they will bounce back. They have a good defense. They got a good bounce back game this week against Grambling. But I have to go by what I've seen. They got hit in the mouth.
Jeff.
So the negative of playing such a huge game week 1 is that it sets you at a deficit to start the season.
Facts.
I mean, Captain Obvious, right? So in a situation like this, LSU has to be perfect to continue to be a contender in their division, in their conference. And I don't think they can be. So I go in with pretender.
Yep. Coach?
I have them as a pretender also. The defense is normally the staple of LSU. They normally are locked down when you play LSU. It's a battle in the trenches, and they hit you in the mouth normally and make it a close game, whether they win it or not. But like Weezy mentioned, they got hit in the mouth, and their defense is not the typical LSU defense you're used to seeing. So I think they're a pretender.
Yep, I'm a pretender as well, man. I'm rolling. It's just 1 year after LSU lost that opener by 1 point in Florida State. One team looks drastically better than they did the year before, and it looks like the other team took a step back. They look drastically different. I would assume that this is how the game was supposed to look versus you guys last year. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So in turn, it's your first year coaching. You're trying to figure things out, getting your guys in there. That defense can get off the field on 3rd down. They just couldn't. Every time they couldn't run the ball. This team has to start from scratch. Grambling is a good start to start from scratch. That is a chicken noodle soup game.
With a soda on the side.
Yeah, man. Yes, definitely with a soda on the side. Yeah, but it's going to look totally different in that. And I think, Jaden Daniels, you shouldn't be able to wear a chain unless you are worthy of wearing said chain. Mm-hmm. Like, he's out there playing in a chain, and you stinking it up like that. Mm-hmm. Like, he played bad. He looked like Arizona State Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels, he looked really good the second part of the season for LSU. I was thinking he was going to come into this and tear you guys apart, and he did not.
And here's the thing. Just like you said, it's a long season.
Yeah, it is.
And he got back on track last year. He could possibly get back on track this year. So,
cool. Yep. Let's move on to the Big Ten. We'll kick things off with Ohio State. Weezy, talk to the people.
They miss C.J. Stroud. Ohio State didn't even put up any points last week.
You got them a contender or pretender?
I was getting to it.
Oh, okay.
I got them as a contender, but they missed C.J. Stroud. They got to fix the quarterback position quick. Yeah, fix it quick.
They're in a great position though, to where their schedule's going to play out. They don't play Penn State until midway through the season. They play Michigan, of course, I forget how they word last Saturday. Yeah. So they're gonna have a chance to work that quarterback position out. They're a contender.
Coach,
they're definitely a contender. They have 2 of the best wide receivers in college football.
Hands down.
They have a favorable schedule that has them predicted to win every game by 70%, and it's just 2 that puts them at 70. The rest of their games, they're like 90% chance to win those games in the regular season. So they're definitely going to be a contender.
I have them as contenders as well. Their defense is the reason that's going to keep this team alive. They held Indiana 153 yards. That's nuts. That's the best defensive performance I've seen from Ohio State in years, and by far the worst offense I've seen in Ohio State since Jim Tressel. So you have Kyle McCord. He's not a quarterback one. They got to figure out a quarterback. I think they'll still win games because of that defense. They got 4 guys on that defense that's going to go first, second round. So defense is lights out. I just worry about the offense, and I don't think that Marvin Harrison Jr. will complete this season. He already got hurt in week 1. So to see him go down, I just worry about that team offensively. I still haven't contended. Moving right along to the next Big Ten team. It's the Penn State Nittany Lions, Weezy. Talk to the people.
Yeah. James Franklin felt that noise. Everybody's talking about he's a coach on the hot seat. He got him on squad this year. He's one of the only teams that got 3-4 returning seniors. That usually don't happen because they usually hit the transfer portal and leave.
Yep.
He got a squad this year. I think they're contenders in the Big Ten. He has to beat Ohio State or Michigan this year, though.
Yep.
He has to beat one of those teams.
Got to.
But I think But he ran up the score last week.
They were hot at him.
Your
betting homeboys hot at him.
Gambling Twitter was definitely hot at
really.
They called him everything but the N word. They cut off the camera before they could call him the N word.
Because he could have just took a knee, but he wanted to get.
He over.
They was hot at him.
Yeah.
They were hot at him, Jeff. Talk to the people.
Hey man, they got to split. They have to go to the Horseshoe in Ohio State, and they got Michigan at home. They got to split those games. They win both is even better. But to be a true contender, they just have to split that. And I think they are a contender this year.
Coach?
They're contenders. They just happen to be with two other contenders in the same conference that everybody's been talking about. But they are coming off of a Rose Bowl championship season with 11 wins. Manny Diaz defense has 2 potential first-round picks with Chop Robinson and Kalen King. And they have a linebacker who's very underrated with Curtis Jacobs. So Penn State is a contender.
Unfortunately, I have them as a pretender because they're not better than Michigan and they're not better than Ohio State. Unfortunately. So I have them pretenders this year. Next year will be the year for Penn State. The kicking game needs a little bit more work. The offense only converted 3 times on third down in a whole game. That's disgusting. Defense was dominant. It may be one of the best defenses in the entire college football spectrum. And on top of that, the thing is, though, Ohio State's defense is better than theirs, though. Mm-hmm. And you're not the best defense in the conference. That's going to make you a pretender in my eyes. But the main thing they've been trying to find is a quarterback. They hadn't had a quarterback since Christian Hackenberg, Weezy's guy. They have a guy in Drew Aller, first-year starter. He's making next-level throws. Shout out to Drew Aller. He's going to be one of the guys for Penn State. Finally got a quarterback. That's a good thing. Pretenders this year, contenders next year. Next up, we move on to the ACC. We'll kick things off to the right side of the table with Coach Locke and his Florida State Seminoles. Mm-hmm. Jeff as well. Contenders or pretenders, guys?
Oh, we're definitely contenders.
Oh, wait. Oh, you sure?
I was going to my Clemson.
Okay.
We're definitely contenders. There's no question. We have a Heisman candidate with Jordan Travis, defense led by possible top 5 pick in Jared Verse.
Come on, Jeff, with all that.
They had a great showing against LSU, only getting up 24 points, and we know 7 of that was with the cupcakes in that they just got late with the game. We put the backups in, so it really should only have 17 points. So we're definitely contenders at Florida State.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Hey, Coach said it perfectly. Contenders. I had them in the national championship. I had them in the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to roll with it.
Yeah.
You got to roll with it. Okay. Weezy.
For everything they just said, man, that team bounced back. They're pretenders. They're contenders. They play in a weak conference.
Oh my God. The weakest.
Yeah, but they
hold on, Weezy, man. But we're gonna talk about it on this next thing. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got them.
Well,
as contenders.
Got them as contenders. Okay. I have them as contenders as well. Somebody has to represent the ACC. Somebody has to, guys. They just didn't look like they were the best team in the nation, like y'all predicted in this game. You just didn't.
Did you see that second half?
As the game progressed, you guys put it together in the second half. Found yourself. It was the first half. Yeah, the first half y'all didn't look good. Y'all were losing in the first half.
Mm-hmm. We've also played the number 5 team in the nation at that time?
After we just shit on for 13 minutes. We talked about how bad LSU was.
At the time, they were number 5.
I did see the group chat. The Coach Locke does his usually we bullshitting text messages.
We were
in the game. Thank you. That's all I was.
What was I saying, though?
We were getting dumb calls on offense, dumb personal foul calls.
Yeah, I can imagine being the coach.
Jesus, I didn't say anything wrong. Y'all were losing in the first half. Now, granted, this quarterback was in the same high school class as Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Yep, he was. He was in the same
COVID. So we punishing people for staying in college?
Nah, he should be good, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He should be good. He should be good.
Real quick.
That's a backhanded comment.
We have some.
Should be good.
Hold on, y'all. We have some new listeners. We have a lot of new listeners. Could you let the listeners know who your favorite college football team is?
I was a Florida Gator.
Okay.
I'm no hater, though.
They can understand why you're saying.
I'm no hater, though.
Cool. Right.
The transfers looked like they were supposed to look. That's how you get players in. You get them acclimated to your system. They built this team off the transfer portal. The days of the hot seat for Mike Norvell, dead. He's a shit person. But a great coach, man. Days of a playoff run have officially arrived in Florida State. And, hey, listen, it's a lot of pressure coming up for the rest of these weeks because, you don't play anybody. You don't play one team for 8 weeks, guys. You don't play a good team for 8 weeks,
That's
guys.
not true.
So what I'm saying, you play Duke, you're going to beat the hell out of Duke. Duke is sorry. I'm trying to tell you.
So
Duke
why
is
you
sorry.
just clowning me when I said they played in a bad conference?
Great segue, Weezy, because we have next the Clemson Tigers of the ACC, a team you predicted to win against Duke. You said it was going to be a blowout. Contenders or pretenders now?
No, they didn't look good, but they love. I still think they're contenders. That defense is still good. They just they dropped the ball 4 times in the red zone.
Yeah,
I think they're still good.
He said, "Are they going to beat the hell out of Duke?" Is what he said.
I did say that.
Okay. and they lost 28-7. They scored 7 points.
They had a horrible game.
No, they're trash. I told you that they were trash from the beginning. You said the only competition that they had in the ACC, you guys watch what Clemson do. You guys are sleeping on Clemson. Hit that 15-second rewind from last week's show, and you hear, oh, man, I tell you, watch Clemson. We watched, and they got their ass whooped. Jeff, talk about the Clemson Tigers.
Clemson season is going to come down to week 4 against Florida State. That is that game just became even more gigantic because of Clemson dropping the ball on national television against Duke. So now Florida State, shout out to Coach Norvell, you cannot look past Clemson. Clemson is still stacked. They had some bad offensive play, bad play calls, a lot of drops like Weezy said. You get that stuff right in the next couple of weeks, and that's going to be a showdown.
I think they beat Florida State.
That changes everything.
Put that on the board. I think they beat Florida State.
Here we go.
Put them on the board fast enough.
Damn, boy.
Put
That's
that
week
on
4.
the board.
That's a big game, man.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Where's that game at?
Clemson.
It's in Death Valley.
It's at Death Valley.
Yeah, I think they beat Florida State.
Will beat.
I have Clemson as a pretender, man. Their quarterback is not the quarterback we've seen in Clemson in the past. You coming off Trevor Lawrence, you coming off Deshaun Watson, DJ, who's no longer there now, but I don't believe in the quarterback
DJ looked good this
to
week,
be. He did look good to be the quarterbacks that we've seen in the past from Clemson. Now they'll bounce back, but I don't think they're going to be a contender this year.
Clemson, for me, from the beginning, I told you guys they were pretenders. Let's be real. They fumbled the ball twice, though, inside the 10-yard line, guys, and had 2 field goals blocked. Those are the direct reasons as to why they lost this game. But the reason that they're going to lose multiple games this season is because that wide receiver room cannot get any separation. They lost guys to the portal. You can't lose guys and then replace them with freshmen. It just doesn't work. That's just not how things go. If you look at Florida State, you transfer and get in a guy like Keon Coleman who played in the Big Ten in Michigan State. They got to see him in 2 weeks, Death Valley. So in turn, he doubled down. Speaking of Dabo Swinney, he doubled down and said that he is indeed not touching the transfer portal. He's going to do it his way. And in turn, that is a person that is a prime example of not wanting to change with the times.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
He's a piece of shit dude. Yeah. And this will get him ultimately fired, and the Clemson Tigers will go off into the sunset and get somebody else. But this is a prime reason, if you look, as to why people's downfall, you get in your own way. And this is a prime example of that. So shout out to Clemson Tigers and Dabo Swinney. Let's move right along to the Pac-12 Weezy, the Colorado Buffaloes. Pretenders or contenders?
I got them as contenders.
Ooh, shoot.
I mean, it's going to be a long season. I don't think they'll make the Final Four or anything like that. But from winning one game last year to what they did this past week was pretty amazing. I got them as contenders.
Wow, you almost swung my vote there, buddy. But I have them as pretenders though, because they're gonna be competitive in a lot of games, but I don't see how they can win this division. I don't see the route they can take to win the division yet. Now coming in, this is week 2 going into week 3. I'm saying this, but as of right now, I have them as pretenders.
I have them as contenders. They have everything they need on the offensive end, from the quarterback to two-way player Travis Hunter, who's just as good on defensive cornerback. The only thing that worries me about them is their defensive line. The lack of size and they're able to stop people up the middle is what could hurt them. But the Pac-12, we know, is a pass-happy conference. So it may not bother them as much. The game is going to be, we all know, it's going to be the USC matchup at the end of the day. And that's what it's going to come down to with them as far as how far they go, as far as if they have a chance to college football playoffs or if they play in a Pac-12 championship at worst. But I do have them as a contender.
Yeah, I got them contenders in the Pac-12 for sure. It's a whole new team in Colorado, 52 new players. That's insane. Arizona State is next up with 27 scholarship players entering their new regime at Arizona State. So they went 1-11 last year, guys. For that guy to go out there and get 52 new guys on schedule to play in game 1 and beat a team that was in a national championship last year. They should have won by 14 points. You got to give credit, man. It's just one of those things that I think if they would have lost, that narrative would have been, oh, those FCS guys can't hang in the FBS. So there's levels, and I hope he wins every game because I hear these coded conversations is had on national TV, and you see people saying, I'm already Deion'd out. It's week 1, dog. Yeah. They just won a big game. If this was Dabo Swinney and he was at Colorado and got them after they were 1-11, or what Matt Rule is doing in Nebraska this year, it would be praised for bringing this team out of the dirt. This team has been trash, and for them to do what they did week 1, coming out week 1, and they're selling out crowds at Colorado. They ain't sold out no entire seasons in 40 years, dog. They did that his first year there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, they did that in the spring. How you sell out a whole season in the spring, dog?
So they sold out the spring
game. Can I get any credit? Because you shitted on me with Clemson. My bad call on Clemson. Can you give me
You said credit? They weren't gonna cover. You said they were gonna cover the spread.
I said it was gonna win the game.
You said it was gonna cover the spread.
I said it was gonna win the game.
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. You said
I told you
in
the summer. You said, man, there's no way that they beat Colorado. I mean, I told you that in the summer. I've been on that all summer. Jeff, you been here all summer long?
He had the bid and everything.
All summer long.
We had the bid and everything.
I've talked to you every day about that, and you said they're gonna cover the spread. I didn't hear. Okay. I didn't hear that. I'm just saying. Did you hear that, cameraman?
I heard him say it won the game.
All right, cool. That's what's up. Well, maybe I misheard. I didn't hear that though. Yeah, Jeff said he didn't hear. He said you saw the.
No. I said he's had the bet. Like he's had the bet and everything.
He didn't show me the bet.
Yeah,
he didn't show me that bet. Yeah. But I maybe I missed out on that.
I got you.
Yeah, that's what's up. Moving on to Washington, the Washington Huskies. What you got, Weezy?
Washington Huskies gonna be good, man. They contenders. They got a good quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. Throws a beautiful deep ball. That team they throw vertical routes.
Yeah,
they got
get it.
They got 2 good wide receivers. They're gonna be good in the Pac-12.
Well. This guy here. From as I said on our college prediction show, I got Washington being very competitive this year. Yeah. So yes, I have them as contenders. So everything Weezy said, they're the most talented team, player for player in the Pac-12.
Got you.
They're definitely contenders, man. They're kind of the same boat as Penn State. There's a lot of contenders in this conference. So, we can only have 2 to make the championship game and only 1 winner, but you can still be a contender and not winning. But when you have a quarterback like they do, you're always going to be in the game. So they're definitely a contender.
Yep, I got them as contenders as well. It really depends on Michael Penix, what he does. Set school records last year for passing yards. They went 11-2, won a bowl game. They brought back that entire team, and then they hit the transfer portal and brought in defensive guys at linebacker and cornerback. They got to beat Michigan State. They got to beat Oregon at home. Of course, you got to win the conference games, Colorado's and Utah's and USC's, all of that. But how things look on paper, the Pac-12 conference is going out with a bang with all of these guys playing at a high level this year. All right, the last conference. It is the Big 12 Conference. Weezy, we'll kick things off with the TCU Horned Frogs, pretenders or contenders?
They just lost too much on both sides of the ball. Quarterback, 2 wide receivers. They lost cornerbacks. They just lost too much. Pretenders, they'll score points with anybody. That's what they're going to do. They'll score points. They got a good offensive coordinator. The defense is not there. They lost a lot of players.
Yep.
Yeah, they went on a magical run last year.
They did.
Cinderella's shoe didn't fit in the championship. They got the ass kicked.
They sure did.
And that's leading to what's going to happen this year. Like losing that many players and just having to come back. Yeah, I see them as pretenders.
Yep.
Yeah, they're different pretenders. When you're at a school like TCU, they're not your typical blue blood football school, so they don't reload as fast as the other teams do, like your Georgias, your Tennessees, your USCs, your Florida States. Those guys, they reload. Like they have the second person that can easily be the starter, or the third string can easily come in and take that starter spot. TCU's not used to having that. And so, like we mentioned, losing all those guys they did is starting to show. So they're definitely going to be pretenders.
Yep. No one expected TCU to make a return trip to the college football playoffs, guys. Let's just be real. Hell, no one expected that shit last year. But this team is currently not deserving of any national ranking. They need to work on the passing game. And this is the thing what Sonny Dykes does. He brings quarterbacks in, and he gets those guys playing at a high level. The thing that I worry about with TCU is their defense. They gave up 565 yards and 30 first downs. That's not going to fly against the Big 12 teams because we all know Big 12 There's a lot of scoring in the Big 12s, high octane. It's going to be a long year for TCU. But the good thing is they made it to the national championship last year. It's something they can roll into the sunset with. And last but not least, the Oklahoma Sooners. Weezy, pretenders or contenders?
I think they're contenders in the Big 12. You don't beat them by 7-3-0, don't be a contender.
That's true.
Brett Venables got them boys rocking, got the defense back playing. I don't care what school you play, somebody's going to score on somebody.
Yeah.
And they didn't score. The other team didn't score a point.
Yeah.
And that's Arkansas State. Arkansas State is usually pretty good in that conference. Even though they got Bush Jones as their coach. But they're contenders.
Yeah. Jeff.
Yeah, they're contenders by default. They only play one top 25 ranked team this year on their schedule, and that's Texas. So that's gonna be a huge game. Texas in a dogfight this weekend against Alabama as we're recording this. So yeah, no, by proxy, by default, I should say they are contenders.
Coach?
Yeah, they're contenders. It's not too much more left in that side. But I don't think they're going to beat Texas when they do play that Red River rivalry. There you go. Yeah. Easier said. Yeah. But they will still be in the mix, but I think that game will be what decides, ultimately takes them out of their side. So I'm going to have them as contenders.
Yep, I got contenders as well. They have the best rushing attack in all of college football. They might get 3 players to rush for like 900-plus yards, 100%. I think they'll go undefeated in the regular season. I think Dylan Gabriel will maybe set for a Heisman. Got the best chance of winning the Big 12 in my eyes. I think they'll be the TCU of 2024, going from 6-7, 14-1 in the national championship, maybe runner-up, playing in the college football playoffs for sure. Okay. Oklahoma's looking legit, and Brett Venables is looking like the reason that Clemson was Clemson. Not Dabo.
Couldn't happen to a better person.
Yeah. And that is contenders of college football.
FSP style.
Yeah.
Always. FSP style.
Yeah.
Better than know it, better than believe it.
That's right, guys. A Weezy with the off the top rope. Clemson will beat Florida State on week 4. It's tall order, brother. It's tall order.
Nobody remembers me talking about Colorado. That's crazy.
The whole room said that they remembered it but me, dog. But here's the thing. Maybe you just didn't say it to me. Because we talked and you was like, bro, I'm telling you, they gonna cover this spread.
Y'all said numerous of times. Just not one time, numerous of times.
You remember that, Coach?
I didn't say they were gonna beat them.
No,
I did say that they mess around and beat them boys.
Yeah, you
though.
said that. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, we was on the phone. You said that. But I remember talking to him during the game, and I was like, dang, dog, they look good, bro. And he did say that he bet the spread. I just didn't know nothing about it. Maybe
he bet the money line.
I bet the spread. He bet the money.
No, we're not hearing what I'm saying from the. Never mind. I ain't finna get off into that. But yeah, that is college football in a nutshell, man. After week 1, things might change drastically. A lot of these teams aren't really playing big contenders going into week 2. So, but going into week 3, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Yeah. All right, now tweet us some questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe, but more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Weezy.
Everything paid for, big baby.
Coach.
Get a drummer song.
Jeff.
Camera's always on, brother.
Cameraman, The Revolution will be podcasted. We are out.
Listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on previous episodes, please check out the YouTube page and wherever you find your favorite podcast. Don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend.
The Revolution will be podcasted.